Good morning,
Wow.
Deborah from Tacoma, Washington.
Hello, Deborah. Great to have you on the call. Man, I love my team. They are awake, alert, and ready to go. That's how we do it. So welcome, welcome. Anybody else want to announce and say hello? Wow, wow. I'm so excited. I know it's been probably about 2 weeks since we went to Vegas. It feels like it's been even longer than that. Then we had the fantastic training last Saturday, and they kept it to 4 hours with a half-hour break. I thought that was very, very good. The information was compressed, just like Scott told us in Vegas that it would be. So we were able to know that we were not going to be there for the whole day, 5-6 hours, but it was really good information. Stuff that you knew, stuff that you didn't know, stuff that you can go back and review again. People who paid for the course received a nice little booklet that they could go along with during the training, and I thought that was really good too. And now, of course, you can always chime in to the training every time they do it, which will be the second Saturday of every month. And I think that is really good. So that'll be the one Saturday that Rick and I will not do our training. So just a reminder, tonight we'll be having the Go Party on Bond's call. If you don't know how to get to the Go Party, go to teamget.com. Go teamget.com and log and click on the webinar and calls, and you can scroll down and you'll see the Go Party, the training, and everything. You can really, and it's alive, so you can click on that and go right to it. If you don't remember it, all you have to do is remember goteamget.com, and Rick does a great job of making sure all the information that you need to know about everything is right there. So it's a great thing. What you might want to even do is put it in your favorite, make it a whatever quick click on your laptop so you can always go right to it, and it will always have all the information for you. Because see, the goal is to keep you plugged in. It's to keep you informed, because the more you learn, the more you learn. I'm telling you, if that's not a true statement, Scott made it at the beginning of the training on Saturday. And if I didn't write anything down, I wrote that down. And I have said that over and over. I said it on the Monday Night Go party, because it is so true. It is part of my statement that you have to always be learning something new, because when you learn, you earn. And the more new things you learn, the more you earn. And that's in every aspect of your life, not just Surge 365, everything. Think about it. Even in school, when you learn and you have a high school diploma, you can get a certain job. You have a college degree, you can get a better job. You have a doctor's degree, you have a master's, a PhD. All of the knowledge will allow you to earn more and more and more. And so that's with everything you do in your life. So you want to remember, if you have found yourself rolling back into that same routine that does not bring additional income into your home, then that's, now you should be moving out of that. Because see, it's almost like a comfortable habit we have to be aware of. We have to keep that subconscious mind woke. We have to be always learning something new, always paying attention to what's going on, because familiar and comfortable habits, it's something that we easily flow back into. I mean, I can flow back into a comfortable habit without even thinking about it. And then because Rick and I are on the same page, he'll say something like, hey, babe, don't forget 17 seconds. Or I'll say, okay, you've watched that long enough. We need to cut that off. And what made me understand that is when we went to Vegas and we were gone for 5 days, of course, our routine was totally off. In other words, we had no time. I had no time to watch our favorite program, to do what we normally do. You say you're going to cut off the continuous, the constant negative news, CNN, constant negative news, and then you're watching a program that's making you laugh, and then the daily news or the evening news or the nightly news comes on right before it, and boom, there's a gas shortage, no gas. So everybody's like, oh my God, panicking, where am I going to go get? It's just like the whole toilet paper thing. Oh my God, there's no toilet paper, run out, get toilet paper. It's designed to keep you up and frustrated and trying to figure out what to do next. That's why you have to remember that when those feelings come and when you're back in that same routine and the anxiousness and the anxiety and the lack and the negativity, you have to be able to shut that off and turn that off. That's why vacations are healing, because you are out of that routine. You are on the beach listening to the waves hit the rocks. Your mind is relaxed. You're thinking about sand on your feet, not negative stuff. So, I mean, Scott, he hit it on the nose when he talked about healing the nation with vacation, because you need to get out of that negative routine and the self-development. If you started something and you sat back and you don't do it anymore, you roll right back into that same routine. I was listening to a gentleman who wrote a book, and he was saying what he did is for 15 minutes each day, 15 minutes to an hour, depending on his role, he would write something. So, of course, that, he calculated how many words, which ended up being a page and a half. And so within that year, he wrote a book. And he did it slow. So, of course, that made me think of James Clear, because I follow James Clear, Atomic Habits, and that's what he says. Start off slow. Do not start off taking the whole afternoon, because you won't do it the next day. So understand that in Surge 365, yes, we do want you to share your Surge 365 business with the world. But I'm telling you, you do that easier and you attract more people when you are the person that you want to work with. And so you start changing within, you start making sure that negative thought in the subconscious mind stops you from recognizing the good that's in your life. That's a very important thing also. I don't know if Country Boy is on the line, but he had me talking with a lady yesterday that's in our group, and that's what it is. Think about the positive stuff that's in your life, because we can really get hung up on the negative and the lack of. But let's concentrate on the positive things, what you do have. And I'm telling you, it will make you feel so, so much better. So we are excited, of course, with everything. Don't forget, GoTeamGet.com. You want to stay plugged in. You want to stay with the people that are moving, doing what needs to be done. Cruising, of course, in Miami, they're going back and forth, but everything else should be starting to roll out in July. I'm quite sure by July, Miami will have, I should say Florida, because it's Fort Lauderdale and Miami. So it's the state of Florida. So the cruise ships that leave out of Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, they're going to have this all fixed out, because they are just literally hemorrhaging money as we speak. So they definitely want to get cruising back in order and ready to go. Carol Lee, I'll post it on the group page. She's doing a cruise training, I think in November. Rick and I are putting a family cruise together at that time, so we won't be going. But Carol Lee does a great cruise. She does great training. She's written, I think, at least 2 books, if not more, on cruising. So I'll put that on the group page if anybody's interested in finding out. It's going to include drink packages. It's going to include Wi-Fi. It's going to include your gratuities. And it's very cheap. I think it's like $100 per person down payment or your deposit. So it should be a lot of fun. I will post that on the group page because with all said, we are about travel. That is our thing. We are about travel. We're not a lotion and potion company. We're not trying to convince people to use a product that they don't already use. I think that should be a great selling tool, a great sharing tool when you're talking to people and knowing that if you fly Delta and you have your Delta frequent flyer miles number and your Delta Visa card, you can go on your membership, use your Delta card to pay for the trip, put in your Delta number to get your Delta credits, and you're also going to get reward credits. So that's called the triple dip. And it's a video that I think Rick has on the GoTeamGet.com. But that triple dip video is really good when you're talking to people who love their credit card, love their Hilton, their Marriott, because they get reward credits. You can just double dip, triple dip, and continue to do that. So it's all about the knowledge. See, it's all about learning. Learning means you earn. So the more you learn, the more you earn. That's our theme for today. So I'm looking at the time, and I want to open the floor because I know we have some great folks on the line. I know you have some great things to share, and I really, really love hearing from everybody in our team. So the floor is open. I'm not throwing a question out there because I want us to just talk. I want us to just share what's going on. Whatever your triumphs are, whatever your victories are, whatever the positive thing in your life is going on. I know Rick, we were talking back and forth. He signed this guy up yesterday. And so that was interesting, how that all came about. But just knowing that you want to sign up people the way you are. So you want to make sure you are the way that you want someone else to be who comes into your team. Because then that way your team will grow, grow, grow. I hear someone has unmuted the line.
Hello.
Hey, Brenda. Hey, team.
Yes. Hey.
Who's first?
Let me get this in before I run out.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to drop it. We were talking about the triple dip. And, well, story that we have, one of our cousins, our cousins who are a couple belong to a motorcycle club. They're out of the Virginia area. And we met them at his daughter's wedding out here, actually. And when we mentioned this business to him and he found out about reward credits, he signed up immediately. He is a reward credit person. And I mean, they are on fire with their business, but reward credits, that's a selling point in itself. That's the first time I had experienced that. Someone saw the reward credits before they saw the rest and he was in. So you never know what they're going to see. Back to you, Brenda, or to you, Ed.
Go ahead, Ed. That's so true, Glenn.
I wanted to go back to what you were saying, Brenda, about, being in position and, just in these times where stores were running out and everybody was panicking to get toilet paper and this and that. And I'm sitting back, I'm like, all I have to do is go into my back office and go into my membership and order it straight from the source. I don't have to go to the store. So it just gives you that comfort knowing that you have a shelter in place to where if some systems fall away, you have something connected to everything. So you can get it straight from the source where people will have to wait for the store to fill up or wait for this and wait for that. We can go straight to the source, whether it's retail or whether it's travel or whether it's pretty much anything, because travel is everything. So if you see it that way, I definitely, in that sense, wasn't in panic mode during the last year because of my membership and because of the access we have. I had a system in place to secure my household. And so when we talk about value, that's beyond money, to know that you have that security blanket, if you will, in place to where if something happens with that just happened, you have something that still connects you to
Hey, honey.
resources and keeps you mobile.
Hey, honey.
Right, that's true. Hey, Rick, I can hear you. I know you're talking to Brittany.
We're on
she
our
just tried
call.
to call me.
She's leading the call.
Yeah, honey, I can hear you tell Brittany
Okay.
that.
Okay,
Go
let me
ahead, Ed. Oh, goodness.
No,
Go ahead, Ed.
That was it.
Oh, sorry about that, Britt. That was your daughter.
that was it.
Oh, that was our daughter.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Alrighty. So thanks, Ed.
that's what I was gonna answer Ed, and Brittany called and was like, okay. But anyhow, so she said she'll call you back. So, but anyhow, so you're right, Ed. And one of the things that we say about that is, are you in or are you out? And what that means is, are you buying inside the supply chain or are you not? And so that's perfect what you're saying, Ed, is that if you're buying inside the supply chain, you have that convenience, you have that access, and you actually earn reward credits even when you shop through your membership. And it's one of those things, are you in or are you out? And one of the things that we're going to be doing training on the new company this weekend. So you definitely don't want to miss that. And again, of course, we have the presentation tonight, but this weekend at 11 o'clock Mountain, 1 o'clock Eastern, we're going to train on the new company, and making the distinction that Surge is there's no change in Surge. It's just the platform, that for the Savon, the company that was providing us the platform for the membership and the Vortex, has gone to another exponential level, but Surge is the same. And so there's no change in what we're going to see. You still have all the bonuses, you have the $500, but the platform of the membership and the Vortex is going to just a whole nother level. And but what I was going to say also is that I totally forgot what I was going to say. Back to you, Brenda.
That, you know what? That happens when you have a lot going on in your mind. And, because that happens to me too. You have so much that you want to share, but it'll come back to you. It'll pop back in your head. Anybody else? Wow, I know.
That's what I remember.
Stuff.
I remember, Brenda.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, check this out. Check this out. So at the convention, when Joe presented the information on the membership, one of his first 2 slides was a picture of our membership, the booking engine, and the number of reward credits. He showed the reward credits of it got to be a company, 2.2 billion reward credits. 2.2 billion reward credits is what he showed. And he said, that is a true fact. And I say that to say, and like you're saying, Ed, just being able to go through and get all our needs met through our business. Are you in, are you out? 2.2 billion. And so when we bring, that has to be a corporate account or something. That's like the accounts that you're going to be getting, Ed. When you're working with churches or schools or organizations, and they've given out that Vortex link to all their members, and everybody's shopping and booking through that Vortex as we hit the summer, and people are going everywhere, and there's a major surge in travel, and those reward credits, for every dollar someone spends through the Vortex, 3 reward credits come back to the owner of the Vortex, and there is no upper limit. And so those reward credits, and like you were saying, Brenda, one time, they're not taxable, but it's like money. And so, wow, this is the time. I signed up a guy yesterday for Mariano and this new guy that came on, Tim. And I want y'all to think about this, the effort, and that's why it's so awesome that you're plugging in, because confidence will come with your knowledge. And like you said, Brenda, the more you learn, the more you earn. And just by plugging in, you're going to start learning things and hearing things. And when you start, talking to people or people talking to you, it's going to come to your mind. And because you know it, you're going to have confidence to kind of repeat out of your subconscious what somebody said that you heard on this call. And the more you learn, of course, the more you earn. So I met with this guy that was introduced to me by Mariano and this other gentleman, Tim Richardson. And awesome people. And I met them at an event I went to. And the guy was sitting in front of me, and he turns around and he hands me a card. He says, "Rick, we need to meet." I'm like, okay. And so we met yesterday. And we were supposed to meet 3:30 p.m. And he called me and said, "Hey, this other appointment I had dropped out. Can you meet me at 11:30?" So I had prepared to meet him the night before, and I'm glad that I did, because at first I was going to wait until the day and meet with him at 3:30, but it was moved forward. Always be ready. And so I met with him, and he's just going on and just telling me what he's doing and this, that, and the other. I had no idea I was going to sign him up. Always be ready. Always be ready. Go through the sign up process. You saw us do that in one of the trainings. Rehearse that, practice that. And I actually signed him up on my phone. Rehearse it on your phone, rehearse it on your computer, put in information that'll get you to the next screen. You're not going to save it. You're not going to put a credit card in, but just practice it, practice it, practice it. He asked me about 5 times. Oh, so what do I do? And because we was talking about this organization, nonprofit organization that he's working with, and then I just started attending their meetings. But he asked me about 5 times, what do I do? What do I do? And then I would try to close, and he said, "Well, I'm not a salesperson." So I keep talking. That happened about 5 times, but my intention wasn't really to sign him up. I wasn't, I came in, but I have information, and I'm always ready. And like you hear us say, ABC, always be closing, even if the person's not ready. And what was interesting is that even though he was saying, "What do I do? So what do I do? So what do I do?" I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, he's kind of in nonprofits, and he said he's not a salesperson. He says he's not a this. Each time he was saying something, and unconsciously, subconsciously, I'm not closing him a hard sale. I'm answering his questions, but this was like all subconscious. And on the 5th time, I said, "Well, you want to come on board," right? And at the same time, I'm talking to him like, okay, do I remember how to sign up on my phone? Do I know this guy's his link to sign this guy up on my phone? And all this is going through my mind. The more you learn, the more you earn. And so I go into my back office, and the guy, had signed up. This other gentleman had signed up. So I go to my back office and look at the team, and I see his link. I said, okay, got it. This is all happening in milliseconds, folks. And so I got his link. I said, okay, here's where we're going to sign you up on. I said, we are loyal in our company, and Tim brought you on board. And so we got to go with, he said, "Oh yeah, go right ahead." And so I bring up Tim's link. Anticipate what I'm saying to you for the thousands of people that are going to be in your downline. Go into your back office, know where their link is, pull up their name under the team resources, and see what team, genealogy, pull up their name. You may not have anybody on your team, but practice and rehearse like you're going to have millions on your team. And so I get the link, and I'm going through it on my phone and getting the information from him. Do you know it took me like 3 times, because the first time I put the wrong password in and it wouldn't reset. So it kept coming up, password don't match, password. And so I started over. He said, "Rick, I could be a millionaire before you get me signed up." So I said, okay. Hey, he said, "Rick, let me do it." And so I got him to the place, and I gave it to him, and he puts his information in, and he gets to, the 3 agreements. So I go, let me just do that. Check. And then we do the autofill for the address, and autofill for the credit card information, for the credit card address and the personal address. And then I give it back to him, and he knows his credit card by heart. So I give it to him. He puts his credit card. He was in on the 4th time. Don't be afraid of people. We're the ones that hold the golden goose, the goose that lays the golden egg. And when you tap into the need, they're going to come on board. There is nothing you can say or do to prevent them. So he got signed up on the 4th time. This is 2 removed from me and my downline. Mariano and Tim, I don't know if Mariano's on the phone. Congratulations. I congratulated them, but they didn't even know what happened. If you
Yeah, really, I didn't. Thanks.
Mariano, you were saying congratulations and you don't even know what for.
I'm just saying, cha-ching.
So Mariano, when we went to that event, you know, Dennis was sitting in front of me. He turns around and gives me a card. And we met yesterday at Panera. And I wasn't even going there with the intention to sign him up because, you know, I don't know if you know this, but Dennis is an awesome, awesome person. He's going to be president of the Rotary Club in a few months.
No, I've never met the guy. Thanks.
So you guys hear what I'm saying. Be that leader that prepares. But don't bring your need to the marketplace. Bring the value, you know, because you have prepared to the marketplace. If you're going into the marketplace because I got to pay my bills, I got to pay my da-da-da-da-da, it don't work. They will run for you. Fly, eagle, fly. They'll fly away from you. But if you can bring value because you've practiced how to sign people up, you've gone to goteamget.com and you've gone through that and you've studied it and you've written down questions. You know, if you go through that site, that's the knowledge that I have just by doing, you know, and I put it on the site. Every one of those links, there's knowledge on there. There's the triple dip on there. If you look at the travel tab that Brenda's talking about, you know, but be that leader that prepares and is willing because of that preparation. You know, like Michael Jordan says and Glenn says, you know, work ethic erases fear. If you have fear, it's just because you haven't practiced. Fear will go and your confidence will grow, you know, as you practice, but be that leader that can say, okay, congratulations. And then your downline, your person says, huh? What? Hey, you just made $50. Back to you, Brendan.
Hey, Rick, you know
what?
Us being your military training is still with you. You know, you never forget, especially if you do it at career. And you know, if you've been to the military, you know what the military does is practice and train to fight wars 24/7. That's what the military does. Exercises once a quarter or whatever. Mariano can tell you, we sat on exercises together for years. But the motto is and was train, practice like you're gonna fight. So that exactly what you're saying. Train like you're going to fight. Get in there and go over those signups because, you know, even if you've done it 100 times, there's always this little hiccup or something that you didn't see. And then it's good to have these calls where we can share the experience. But if you don't do it, I'm not going to guarantee you, but we've seen some things that you get in there and something changes. It'll mess with your credibility if it looks like you don't know what you're doing. So train like you're going to fight. Back to you, Brenda.
That's true. Train like you fight like you train. And in war, you die. For this, you may get embarrassed, but even I don't want to get embarrassed. And sometimes you just can't help it and you just kind of roll with it. But train like you fight like you train. Absolutely. So true, Glenn.
You know, what's so interesting about this too, Rick, is that you sign up people all the time. I mean, you just signed up this other guy last week. So you're constantly signing up people for your team member. And even you had all these hiccups on your phone. And you do, train enough. But if you didn't have the training to know that, okay, this shouldn't happen, let me do this. Oh, this is not going this way, let me do this. because I know even when my cousin called because she had an issue with the back office, not the back office, but trying to do a flight or something like that, and it wasn't taking her credit card. My first thing was, I don't want to do this. And so I took it to you, and you were like, oh, okay, hey, go to your back office. Are you by your computer right now? Oh, great. What are you looking at? Go here. And you were able to take her through step by step. So she was able to purchase her flight. She did use her American Express card. And it's because you do it all the time. I don't even do that all the time. So when she calls and she's frustrated, that's another thing. When you're working with somebody who's frustrated and you get frustrated, well, what does that mean? You will get nothing done. So you have to be able to even say, because that would have been a good point, Rick, for you to say, oh, man, forget this. Hey, let me go home. Let me get on my computer. I'll call you back. And then that's when people miss the sale. Because between him leaving Panera Bread and driving back up to Woodland Park, who knew what could have happened? And then when you call him, that's where people run into folks ghosting them. That's when people run into folks, well, I don't think I want to do it right now, or maybe next month. So you have to be prepared to keep it calm, keep it cool, collected, and go ahead and finish the process. Because we will run into so much. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just getting ready to end that because we do. We run into so many different things. We run into so many unique things. Like Glenn said, you'll get ready to sign somebody up and you're like, where did that come from? You have to always remember.
We have done freeway signups because technical difficulties, you want to call it. Whatever it took, that's why you need to know how to do a three-way call too.
Right.
That's true,
That's
Glenn.
That's right. Yeah, somebody said, what? Your computer says what? And and this is real funny too, because Rick, I'm telling you, he has the patience of Job, especially when it comes to me. He's very patient. And people will call and he'll say, okay, go ahead and put this in. Well, it's not coming up. And he from experience, he knows to say to them, put it in the address box, not in the search box. No, when that first happened and I heard him talk to somebody like that, I went, oh my God, they're putting it in the search box to get to and he said, yeah, but everybody just doesn't know. You have to understand that when you're talking to somebody and when you're walking them through a process, just because you know, that doesn't mean they know. And so that's why you have to really, go through it, keep that little calm voice going. Rick's good at that. He'll keep that little calm voice going. And I'm looking at him like, I can't believe 3 hours later.
Man, I'm going to tell you, Lord, help me. Lord, help me.
But see, that is his gift. That is his gift. So.
You know what? I get real time in the moment. I really do. I get real time. I'm the boss on my job. I'm the boss on my job. Someone saying something? Oh, Mike, you want to mute yourself. I'm the oops. Hopefully I didn't log him out. I'm the boss on my job. Think about this. I want you all to hear what I am saying. Even in the workforce, I'm the boss on my job because I got to know. The leader is the one who knows. If you don't know, you ain't leading. And because you don't have that moment, you don't have that time unless you, like Glenn said, know how to do a three-way real quick. Practice a three-way if you don't know. But even in the workforce, I'm the boss on my job. A lot of people bring over who they were as an employee onto their job, into the business. And so now they go from employee to now they're the business owner, and they still have an employee mentality waiting for people to tell them what to do. And it don't work that way. And like you said, Brenda, the more you earn, the more you learn, the more you earn in any area of life. This is no different. The people, you got to get a, college, high school diploma, college degree, whatever levels of college degree, certifications, even in the workforce to get an increase in pay. Shift that into the business now, and you're waiting for someone to tell you what to do, what courses to take, da 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 da. The way a person is as an employee is the way they want to remain as an entrepreneur CEO. In order to get to the next level, it's self-help, it's self-development, it's all the self things, and if you can discipline yourself, knowing that the more I learn, the more I earn, and the thing about me, when I came into search, we're 7-figure earners because we're learners, and once being willing to bypass your fear to put yourself in uncomfortable positions, is how you start building that resilience, building that resolve. And that's the thing, is I'm willing to put myself in uncomfortable position. I think, Glenn, that's that military training too, because you got to improvise and overcome, no matter what comes your way. And you have to be willing to train your people. But you want to be willing because of your preparation to put yourself in uncomfortable positions where it's like, I could look bad. What do you lose? You have nothing to lose. But remember, the employee mentality does not work when you actually are the boss. Everybody on this call is a CEO. Back to you, Brenda.
That is so true. That is so true. Anybody else? I think that is awesome. You have to be willing to know the steps, to know what to do, and to push it through. Because if you don't, you won't. So, and like you were saying, Rick, it's all self. It's self-development, self-discipline, self-determination. We could put self relentlessly. You have to do all of that, because if you really want something, you have to work at it. I went back listening to Lisa Nichols, because she's a motivational speaker that I like to listen to. But, after a while, you've heard this story and it's blah, blah, blah. So what they did was they just kind of revamped some of her stories on YouTube, because now she has lost a lot of weight. And even with Lisa, when she was heavy, she went and she did the guys road, texted, whatever, surgery. And she was ashamed because she was telling people how you can be disciplined, you can eat right, you can work out. And she felt that she had cheated by having the surgery and having her stomach stapled, which will allow her to only eat a certain amount of food. And of course, the weight's going to drop off. But even through that, she used that as a teaching tool. And she was telling people, I felt like I cheated. I felt like I didn't do it the way I tell everybody to do it. But, it's done. And I'm owning up to that. And I'm letting it go. She let go of the guilt, and she moved on. And now she looks terrific. She met some guy somewhere. I don't know the whole story. Now she's married, I think, or dating or engaged or something. But even with her, she was dealing, and with the 6-figure incomes and however much money she makes through speaking engagements and being in The Secret and the books that she wrote, that she has written, the different motivational seminars that she has given, the thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars that different corporations now pay her to come to speak to their team. And even for her putting different things together and having people pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars just to be in her presence, she felt guilty. She felt inadequate. So when you have someone with, I feel, a lot of success still having to deal with that, can you imagine us as we climb the ladder trying to get success? Of course you're going to feel inadequate, not, perfect, or whatever the word is you say to yourself, but you just don't stay there. And just like she learned and pushed through and whatever she did to accept the fact that this is what I did, I'm here now and I'm moving on, that's what we have to do with all the things that we have, the different challenges that we have in our life. Because you can push through to get where you need to go. So I was listening to her again and listening to her little snap thing, her little elevator speech. And And we always sit back and, oh, I don't know anybody. All my warm market is tired of me. They won't talk to me. Well, forget your warm market. You go to the mailbox and you see the postal guy and you see him every day or once a week or whenever you catch up with him because his schedule is, and you say hi to him, and then it's almost like, well, how you doing? And he's telling you this and that. Well, you know, I have a business here and I'm really looking to reach out to folks who want to start making a little bit of money extra. Now, I don't know if you're interested, but you might know someone who's interested. What's your phone number so I can send you some information? You don't even have to have a business card. They'll give you their phone number. People give out their phone number faster than they give out their email address. But you have to ask for it. And then text him, hey, enjoyed talking to you. This is the video that I want to share with you. And who do you know? It doesn't have to be you, because a lot of times people don't want you to think that they are even looking for a job or looking for another way to bring an income. So take it away from them and suggest it to someone else that they might know. You figure when Rick and Mariano went out a couple of weeks ago and Mariano talked to Tim and Tim then came on board, his main goal was, I don't want to sell anything. You know, I don't want to share this with anybody. Well, then who do you know? And now Rick is in a meeting that Tim invited him to, and there's Dennis, who's talking to Rick. Rick didn't know Dennis or Tim last month, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. He didn't know either one of them. And he doesn't know the people that he's going to meet through Dennis. So when we say you don't know the people that is going to help you become, or that's going to become directors in your team, you don't even know them yet. So don't get hung up on family members, warm market. They don't want to do it. It's okay. Go out, meet people, say hello. Go. Now people are getting ready to start slowly going to events. Say hello to somebody and just make a friend, and then ask them, who do you know? I know it might not be for you, but who do you know? And start thinking about other folks and not just, like Rick said, concentrating on yourself. Because when you start realizing, think about it, I didn't even know any of you guys. You know, I didn't even know you guys on the phone right now that are my family members, that are my team members. So until we met, and so once we met, it's like, oh, okay, we're moving on to the next step. So if you start looking at it like that I haven't even met my director, I haven't even met my level 8 director, you haven't, but you will. And when you start thinking about it like that, you won't be so frustrated with the people around you, because everybody that's around you can't go where you're going anyway. And that's something that we tell our people all the time. Rick's niece asked us about going to Cancun. We gave her our Vortex site. If she signs up and books on Vortex, fine. If not, fine. But we're not going to chase her down. Well, when are you going to go? And when are you going to book with us? Because we don't like booking travel for people anyway. So that's what's so nice about Vortex, is just give them the link. If they sign up, they do. If they don't, they don't. There's no need to get hyper or try to chase somebody down. Give them the information. If they do something with it, they do. If they pass it on, they don't. But your relaxed feeling, go ahead.
Hey, yes, on that note right there, you know what? Be in the moment. Be in the moment of life, real time. Like our granddaughter is here. She's here doing her homework and all her things. Then we're going to get out of here. We're going to go do real life. Don't get goofy because we're in a business. People know you. They know who you are. They know what you represent. And you don't have to put that on steroids in front of people. They know all of this about you. So when you are talking to your friend and something comes up and you say, you know what? When was the last time you and your family were able to, go and do a staycation? When was the last time you had some intimate time? Like we went on Glenn's birthday, which was Mother's Day, intentionally. We had celebrated all week and did all this wonderful things with the family. We just wanted some intimate time with our family. with all of this going on, and that's what we did intentionally. And so that evening, that afternoon, we just went to spend some time just to get out and just to get some air and some sunshine and just chill for a minute. Just do that, and then when people show up in your face, like you're sitting in that little area, they're like, well, how did you get over in there? Doors open. Yes, doors open for us all the time, just like that, right? Because we asked the question, right? Ask the question. Like that area right there. Is anybody sitting in there? Can anybody sit there? You can have that whole area to yourself. That's how we got in that area. If you saw that on Facebook, they call it branding. We're just doing real life. Okay, and I saw you put that in there, Morgan, about get rid of those distractions. I'm going to tell you this right now. Real life is happening to each and every one of us. But if we keep allowing the distractions of life and other people's lives to keep bombarding us down, you're not going to enjoy the moment you have. You're going to miss that moment that you should have been spending with your family and just having all these aha moments, making cupcakes, making those cookies, getting that crazy, silly smile, and just chilling with the moment and saying, I am so grateful for this day right here. I am so grateful to be sitting here on this call with our team who are rock stars to me. And all of that started because there was a couple in Tacoma, Washington, a military retired couple who had met the Aidens years ago. And we had relationships. See, it comes back to that again. We had relationships. We were at their house, they were barbecuing, and they had their computer up. And because the computer was up, before we even arrived there, we were going past the computer and she had that up and she's like, let's, look at that right there. And so the conversation started. Okay. And from that point, it just kept on coming up later in conversations we were having. But we didn't get started right there. A year probably had passed before we really looked at this company, but we were already traveling. We were already the family that loved to travel together. A lot of things that we do as a family, we do it in the generations. And that's why our vision is so strong, because we're already doing this. We're not making this stuff up, right? Our children travel with us. Our grandbabies travel with us. My mom is coming out here because she's fired up. She's on our team. So just do life and then share what you're doing with people. And they will either choose to say yes, they will travel with you, they will go in there and purchase. Like my daughter was purchasing so much in here, doing her little staycation. I said, you know what, you need to own your own. And guess what? She does. So does our son. So it's just about that relationship. And then when it's time, they will say yes. And they will become who they are meant to be, not who I decided they should be. That's what they're doing anyway. Back to you, Brenda.
That is so true. Just live life and watch how people will be attracted to you. That's it. Just live your life. Because the more that is so true. Somebody else?
The law of attraction.
Yeah, this is Jackie. Hello, everybody. Just enjoying.
Hey, Jackie.
Everybody. Hey. Oh, just enjoying the call. Yes, you do have to live. You know what? As you get older, you realize life is so short. And, we're always aspiring, and there's nothing wrong with having aspirations. But Bishop Jakes preaches about this. You have to learn to enjoy the moments of where you are. And I really do believe that. And also, I think you, Brenda, or Rick talked about that energy, of you can't be an energy about just yourself as far as like when you're in scarcity energy, you propel people from you when it comes to business and things. And you have to ask God to help you with that so that that's not there. I've been there and, people run from that. Right. But you got to have an energy of wanting to help people share. Like Rick said, we got the golden goose. People are wanting to travel. What is $1 trillion industry about to open up, and people are needing to make money. People are needing to get away for peace of mind. We have really been blessed with an awesome opportunity. And believe it or not, even in all of that, some people don't see it. And like Brenda said, next. But enjoying all the comments.
Amen. That's so
Yeah.
true.
That's so true, Jackie. Yes, yes.
And
Go ahead.
Chantel, you're right. It's intentional. You know, you're living life intentional. Is life pulling you, or you pulling life? You know, and we really have to look inside and be introspective on, am I pulling life, or is life pulling me? And what's beautiful about that, regardless of the answer, it's intentional. And sometimes it's hard to catch up to life, you know, and get out front. And because I experienced that, especially when we first came in the business. How do I get in front of my schedule where everything is continually happening to me? You know, where I'm always a step late in working the business and thinking about the business. How do I get to where I can invite people ahead of time versus an hour before the presentation? And that becomes really intentional in how you actually start getting ahead of life and slowing yourself down to slow down. And because, you know, life always keeps us in this hurried mode of, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that. And how does a person, let me ask the question, how do you slow yourself down so that you can get ahead of life? Anyone?
Well, I think you need to start with a schedule. I think you really need to schedule your life, your time. Start off early in the morning. Start off that night before you even go to bed on what you're going to do the next day, and prioritize things. That would be my first thought. You have to start scheduling things.
I agree with you, Brenda, because, you know, I find that when we do exactly what you just said, it just flows a lot easier. Because when you awaken and you do your morning affirmations, all that prayer, all that you do, then you pull out your calendar. Okay, I have this, and then you kind of flow from that, and then whatever else comes later. But this part is done, it's finished, and you're like, okay, I checked that out, that's done. And so I think that calendar, that motivates us, and then that vision for us.
That's
every
true.
day. Getting up, looking at that vision. I'm like, soon as we wake up, I'm telling you, that vision is right there, like looking at this, like, and you're looking at your life. That vision was written about at least 10 years ago. And when you look at what has happened in that vision, it just blows me away, because those sinners that are coming were was in that vision. All that stuff was in there, right? And it's like watching now you see our college age students who we just enrolled our nephew last week. He's fired up. He is huge in outreach ministry, and so we're excited about seeing what the next. We got some generations in here that are behind us that are bad to the bone, and I'm looking forward to seeing their vision and what they have been given to move this forward. Because yesterday, when we were going down to pick up our granddaughter, there was robots on the highway, people. So I'm like, people, we have been talking with an urgency for years. Now, real time, this is what's happening. So if we are prepared for this day, what are we doing?
The robots were cutting the grass.
Come on. This is the life we're living.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, you know, some jobs are gone right there already. To add on to what Chantel's saying, I tell you, the last week to 10 days, we started from the top of the house all the way through and went through everything with a purging. It's spring cleaning, all of the changes through the COVID,
Nice.
all the lockdown, all the movements. And we got rid of so much baggage and stuff.
That's good.
That we can breathe again.
That's good. Out with the old, in with the new.
Yes. Next.
That's true. Hey, so
That's good, Glenn. I do that with my closet, Glenn. I do that with my closet at least 6 months. Every 6 months, I go through my closet and I get rid of stuff. And I'm telling you, that new stuff just comes in again. So yeah, out with the old, in with the new.
And it's awesome up in this closet.
I'm a witness.
I'm working on mine.
I'm a witness.
Yeah. You know what, Brenda? See, Rick and Brenda have the discipline, and Rick is the guy you want with his finger on the button that launches the missile. That's a salute to Cameron also. I feel comfortable with Reese's finger on the button.
Yeah. You definitely don't want me on that button.
Hey, you know,
Me either.
Chantel, you was talking about vision. You was talking about vision, and vision keeps you focused. You know, you have a schedule, but the vision keeps the end game in mind. And you have to rehearse your vision every single day. And what I find is that when I rehearse my vision every single day, the people, the situations, the opportunities show up to the vision. And of course, I can schedule the tasks, but that vision is so important. What is your vision? Chantel and Glenn, I just appreciate you all so much, because someone is waiting for your shared vision. Like my center idea comes from Glenn and Chantel and Bishop Robertson, rest his soul, and his wife, and the actual center that they built in Birmingham, Washington. And Glenn was there to walk the property before they even, started the building. That vision, even though Bishop Robinson has passed on, was shared to Glenn and Chantel, who shared it to me. So his vision still lives, because I'm going to build 6 centers, one in my hometown, 2 in my hometown in New Bedford, one in the West End, South End, one in Miami, one in Tacoma, one in Atlanta, one in Orlando, and then one in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That's a shared vision that still lives, even though Bishop Robinson passed on. So what is the vision that you have that will drive your schedule, drive your energy, drive your ambition, drive all those things? And like you say all the time, Glenn and Chantel, generationally, the buck stops here. What is that vision that you have in your heart? And like Albert Einstein says, and Steve Harvey, your imagination is your real life. That's your real life. Beyond situation, it's not your situation, it's your imagination. Back to you, Brenda.
Wow, that's good. Your imagination is your real life. So what are you imagining? What are you dreaming? What are you hoping for? That's good. I like that. Your imagination is your real life. So you definitely want to live in that real life, because your imagination, think about that. It's no harm there. Everything is great. You're running track just because you feel like running. You're doing all the things. You look the way you want to look. And when you start putting those images out, I'm telling you, that's what's going to come to pass. So anybody else?
Hey, babe, let me say, no one says no to your imagination but you. Nobody can tell you no to your imagination.
Wow, that's good.
No, unless you agree with them and say, no, you're right. And it's your imagination. It was given to you. It ain't even theirs. And they're going to tell you, no, you can't accomplish this. You can't achieve this. You can't do this. Nobody says no to your imagination but you. Back to you.
Hey, Rick,
wow. Hey, that was powerful.
The message I heard recently, and some of you all probably heard it too, was that your imagination or your mind is the final frontier. It's the only place they haven't learned how to hack.
Oh, that's good.
But once you open your mouth and let it out, so be careful what you say, but dream big for real.
That's good.
They can't hack your imagination.
Yeah.
You have to give them the keys to hack your imagination. You have to give them, you have to actually give them the keys to hack your own imagination. What are those keys? Doubt, unbelief, and you have to give them the keys. Okay, here's how you get in to my imagination if you want to hack it. That's crazy, huh?
I like that. It's the last frontier. Yeah.
Believe, and go do it. You know what? I was looking at we a few years ago on my birthday weekend, Bob Harrison came to our church. I will never forget this. And you know what? I was hearing it this morning. We are so used, it's 5% strategy and 95% is mindset. He says there's an 8 in the room. You go through all the 7, 7, 7s. No. We are so used as a people, whatever you want to, human being, to saying no, to hearing no. Because when you were a child, they tap that little hand. No. So even as adults, people have still not gotten outside of no. So when you bring them something, immediately their mind goes to no. He says there's an 8 in the room. 8 is new beginnings. So intentionally on my birthday weekend, we sat in that room with leaders. I'm talking about straight up leaders that were hungry and thirsty, community builder, kingdom building vessels to receive this word to say, you know what? We have to go out here and we got to effect change out here. And that's what happened with Glenn when he met Bishop Robertson and Pastor Prentice and all the rest of these wonderful people that's sitting on this phone. We are the people. We're the people that's gonna make this thing happen out here, right? So take that beautiful, marvelous mind that you have. Say yes. That's my whole thing. Say yes to living your life right now. Say yes to traveling the world right now. Say yes to going down here to one of these, because we have a lot of I'm telling you, we're going up and down the street. I said, do you see all these hotels? They are filled to capacity. Say yes to going and getting yourself in a staycation. Walk it out. Let somebody see you in that so they can say yes because they're ready to go. The fear comes when there's, oh, this is going on. Get that out of there. Go stay in the hotel. Let them see you in there. Kick back, relax, enjoy it. And then people can go. They can be freed up in their mind because they are already watching us. Okay? They were watching Rick and Brenda because we were watching them. Everybody's watching us. People tell us, I'm watching you all the time. Back to you, Brenda.
Now, Chantel, that is so true. I have a lady friend on Facebook that just went to Vegas. She's still in Vegas, and she's posting pictures of places, food, and so I inboxed her. I said, you know, you're doing what we do. You know, I said, but we get paid, and it's a write-off. And I didn't do a hard sell. I didn't give her no link or nothing. I was just planting a seed, whether she takes it or not. But she is doing exactly what we did when we went to Vegas and was posting the Bellagio stuff. And see, people will assume what you do and they'll try to copy it. But we have the secret weapon, Surge 365. And so think about how if somebody is doing something, you know, they should be able to write off or getting paid to get paid for to do it. You know, subtly, or whatever you feel, tell them. And if it's theirs, it's theirs. If it's not, it's not. And so I told her, I inboxed her and said, hey, what you're doing is what Brenda and I do all the time. Except we get paid to do it and we get paid, we can write it off. And so she hasn't responded back yet, but the truth is the truth, you know, so whether she comes on board or not, you know, the truth is the truth. And if you can speak out of your truth, that will erase all fear. You know this is a real business. You know this ain't no scam. You know we actually do get savings on the Vortex and deeper savings on the membership. Speak out of your truth that this can help businesses and nonprofits. And when I met with your guy, Mariano, and when we met with Tim Richardson, we spoke out of our truth. And see, Mariano is right there too, and speaking out of his truth, the guy signs up. Mariano had given him a Vortex that he was using and saving money. He says, Rick, you know, he already has a Vortex, so he knows it works. He forced us to sign him up. And then, of course, me meeting with the guy that knew him, he forced me to sign him up. I didn't start the conversation, even trying to bring him into business. We were just talking. But I'm always looking for an opportunity because I'm always closing. And we was able to close him. But speak out of your truth. If you can speak out of your truth, I tell you what, people cannot refute the truth, especially if it comes from your heart. Back to you, Brenda.
That is so true. That is so true. Anyone else? Wow, this is, you know, ka-ching, ka-ching. That's what learning will get you. Learning will get you that. But you know, guys, here we are. That hour goes by so fast when we're having a conversation and we're laughing and talking and enjoying each other's company. And what I'm looking forward to doing is this in person on some beautiful blue water beach with the white sand on our feet, and we're just laughing and talking and say, remember when we were on the phone because we couldn't get out? I'm telling you, it's going to happen. We're going to have a great time. I know the company, Surge 365, is looking for 2022 convention, and I think it's going to be stateside, so that will allow more people to come to it, even though I'm telling you, you cannot beat the all-inclusive. And comparing Vegas to Cancun was a great example because we paid for the hotel, we paid the resort fee, we had to pay for everything we ate, everything we drank, and it can get pretty expensive, where when we went to Cancun, we paid the one price to fly there, the one price to actually stay at the resort, all-inclusive, so all the drinks, all the food, all the entertainment, the pool, everything then was included. And all you did when you wanted to, if you wanted to, was tip someone. So when you have someone who's looking to figure out where they want to go, right now, not all of the world is opening, and you don't want to go to all of the world, but Jamaica is definitely open. Mexico is open. These guys, they take such good care of you, keeping up with the guidelines, making sure no one leaves there with the virus and keeping everybody in check. So cruise ships are getting ready to open up, and depending on if they get their rule, you might have to be vaccinated to go on there. If not, whatever, just travel, because it's all about having fun. See, I went on a vacation with my mom. Rick stayed home. He said, you go, enjoy your mother, because she always wanted to do the foliage cruise that Carnival did, going from New York City all the way up to all these different places. I can't even think of it right now, ending up in Nova Scotia. I think it was Nova Scotia. And that's where she always wanted to go. We had the best time. We laughed, we talked. I almost left her on one of the islands because I forgot my credit card. It was just fun, fun, fun. She did not care. Made friends with the people at the restaurant, laughing and talking. When I finally got back to get her, she's outside smoking, laughing and talking with the people. And do you want to go home? But we had such a great time. And see, travel creates memories that you cannot, it does not disappear. It does not go away. Every time I think of my mom and I get sad, that trip comes back up. And I remember how much fun we had, how we laughed and talked, how it was just us taking pictures, just shopping, enjoying each other's company. My mom flirting with everybody. That's just her personality. It makes me laugh when I think about it. By the time everybody knew her. Hey, mama, what you need, mama? Everybody was in love with her. And we had such a great time. See, and what Chantel did for Glenn's birthday and her Mother's Day, when you put those kind of activities together, they do not go anywhere. They are embedded in your subconscious of happiness, in your memory, and it's going to always come back and make you smile. And so that's why I started off by saying, we are the vacation. It heals. You want to do as many. If you don't want a staycation, just go to the pool at the hotel down the street or around the corner or in your, just do something, because those memories are what you're going to always remember. And having these conversations and laughing and talking with the team, we're going to always remember these. And when we get together in person and when we laugh and talk again, it's something that we're going to always remember, because traveling, I'm telling you, it is a nice way to relax, clear your mind, filter out all the negative stuff, and just stay with the positive. Because I'm telling you, that subconscious mind, it's a powerful. I love how Glenn talked about your mind is the last frontier. Do not let them hack it. And you don't hack it. Don't put a bunch of junk in your mind that makes you sad and depressed. Stay focused on the positive and the happiness because you control that. Nobody else has access to your mind but you. So that was very, very positive for me. And I'm looking at the time. Anybody else want to share?
Brenda, I was just thinking as you was talking about travel creates memories that don't disappear. That steak and egg breakfast from the 28th floor of the Bellagio, looking out at the fountains in Vegas.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was good. That was good. That was good.
But travel creates memories that
Rick
don't
always
disappear.
said, don't disappear. And Rick said, if it's not filmed, it didn't happen. So always make sure you take pictures and videos.
If there's no camera, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. So make sure you take a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, and just have a great time when you do that. But listen, guys, I look forward to seeing everybody on the call tonight. If you don't know how to get there, if you don't know the Zoom address, go to goteamget.com and scroll down. You'll see it. Go to, what is it? Video calls, website and calls, something like that. Website and calls up on the top. Click on that and it'll take you and go down and you'll see Barnes' picture. You'll see our conversation from home picture we used to have. And that's the address that we use for our training on Saturday. And the training on Saturday is going to be great. What we have done is we've kept this down. I try my hardest to keep it down to 30 minutes because we want you to know that you can get all the nuggets, all the meat real fast, understand, and keep moving in 30 minutes because that's all it takes. We really don't think you have to spend 2 to 3 hours because then people don't log on. People don't, stay. And so you want to make sure you get all the information to everyone as soon as you can. So invite folks, always be inviting folks to the Go parties, to the training, because that's when they're going to understand their business and be able to work their business. Remember, the more you learn, the more you earn, and that's what it's all about. Your mind, your subconscious mind is yours and nobody else's. Don't let anyone hack it. Don't want to let anybody destroy it. So, okay, guys, we are the most trusted travel team, and I look forward to seeing everyone on the beaches of the world. You have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tonight on Zoom. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Congrats, Morgan.
Bye.
Congrats, Morgan.
Yes, congrats. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good week.